Alright boys, welcome back. I promised this video, I was supposed to upload it yesterday, but I wanted to spend a little bit more time on it, and get a bunch of opinions, get a bunch of testing in on myself, so that I can bring you an actually well-informed video on if this Bakugo thing is broken. Is he better? Is he, actually not changed? Is the buff a lie? Is the buff BS? What is the buff? How is it? Today I'm gonna break that doan for you. This video is gonna be comprised in 3 parts, explaining the buff, showing the buff, and then just saying, is it now worth a summon? Is this still turd Bakugo, or is he better? What is it now? Today I'm gonna answer that and try my best to bring it to you. With that being said, let's jump into it. Let's break it down. If you're new to the channel, like and subscribe. Let's have some fun. So hopping into a game here real quick. I got this loaded up. It's training, by the way. I am playing on PC, so it's gonna be a little bit hard to show, but I'll try my best to do so. Again, this is the system notice that we did get. So to list you each thing, and I'll explain in order. First thing, they improved the chip set effect, which will now be gain 30% sweat gauge when entering battle for the first time. So again, now it's 30%. The entire purpose of that is for you to actually gain your sweat faster, so that you can actually go and hop in right away into that flight mode, because that is where majority of the damage is dealt, and that is the big thing. That is what you need to achieve in order to make Bakugo deal massive amounts of damage. So that is the first thing. They increased that to now 30%. So when you load into the game, you're at least a little bit closer to achieving that, and being able to deal high amounts of damage. So again, yeah, that's not bad. For the next one, landing will no longer deplete airstrike energy while landed during the duration. Use the 4th normal attack or W turbo rush to return to airstrike mode. Basic stuff. So again, just basically as it states, landing will no longer deplete airstrike energy. So again, back then, that's what it would do. It would deplete a little bit, and it'll be useless to kind of land. Now you can land perfectly, and it will be able to do a little bit more damage. If you know the combo in the air, this does help out a lot, actually. And then while landed during the duration, use the 4th normal attack or W to return to the sky. So I will test that right now and see what happens here. First, I have to gain the sweat up. There we go. So I have to go into W, right? I then were to hit normal attack, which returns to the ground. It doesn't deplete this, but depletes that. So, okay. I want to see what happens if I go out of this thing right here, and then I hit, a 4 combo. Do I return back into it? Now, if I hit a 4 combo, it's increasing, and I'm back in the sky. Look at that. Then I can go back, spam this, and I'm basically done. Look at that. It's actually not half bad. I won't be able to reach the special. Actually, I will. There you go. So that checks out. That's a good change. That's a good change. It is. Moved up, we have this next one. Increase the explosion radius of point blank burst, which is, if you click special right there, that's point blank burst. So again, that's actually pretty good. So when Bakugo initially launched, right, there was a massive problem when you use his special right here. It wouldn't hit. It would just miss. It would completely miss, and you'd be completely screwed because you just built that up, and that is where your damage comes from, right? Getting that card and getting all that stuff to build up that special, and to use it perfectly. That's the idea of playing Bakugo properly, right? So that's good. The radius is a definitely good change. In Warzone, I wonder how that's going to go. He might actually do pretty good. And again, on the Warzone point, just to make sure you are aware of it, when I was talking to people and I was asking them, how is he doing in Warzone from their tests, they did say that he is performing way better because he gets in the sky faster, because he starts off a little bit higher on the sweat gauge. So that is pretty good. And again, from what I also heard is with his blast radius, it also is another nice thing. So overall, he is putting up a little bit more decent numbers. He isn't that bad now. Again, he wasn't terrible before, but he isn't that bad now. So if you need to go and build a Warzone team, and you do try to get him with good cards and all of that, and you do pull his cards with the banner, would be outstanding for you to do. You can do some good stuff with him. So again, proper build plus this buff does make for a good Warzone combo. Just saying. Alright, so I'm back. My game actually crashed for some reason when I tried holding Q, so that's great. But they did say for the next change, improve the aiming of charge Q piercing burst. So I have heard opinions on this one, and I heard a lot of people saying it's amazing now, because it actually tracks them in a little bit of a better manner. So it actually hits, right? So back then, if they would move last second, if they would do anything, it screws up Q so much, you miss out. And again, when you hit special and then you use Q, you gain up a lot of that sweat meter, right? So missing this is a complete mess up on your damage, because now without the entire burst increasing and getting into the sky and doing all of that airstrike mode, you kind of miss out on a lot of DPS, right? So that's pretty good. It is a good change. Again, there's no overall DPS, no overall damage buff, okay? So everyone that was looking forward to that, there was nothing of that, but he did get fine-tuned in a way, where it's a little bit better. The next one is improved the linking of somersault combo, which I think has something to do with, in airstrike mode. I don't exactly know what the the somersault combo is, but it looks like, from what I heard from people, it's basically one of the combos you can do with him, and that's just a little bit better for continuous attacking and increasing sweat. So again, overall, all the chains listed, I'll show it to you one more time on screen. They're not bad. They are pretty good. And again, when you do test them and when you do play with him, you see that yes, some of these do help out, but he didn't get an overall damage buff. He didn't. That's the entire problem. Again, he could have used just a little bit more, in my opinion, compared to the other WHM characters. We expected too much out of him, maybe. So when we got him, he just was a letdown, honestly. Again, I still will stand at the fact that, you know, they could have given a little bit more damage or a little bit more of a fine tune. Maybe if you get to his sweat meter a little bit faster, or not even that. I think the 30% is pretty good, but maybe every time he adds that additional 30%, which would make it way better. So just my opinion, there were so many things they could have done out of it, but not to say they didn't do a good job already, right? They did pretty good. It is fine tuning and it is helpful. If you build Bakugo well, you can make him nuclear, you can make him do some good stuff. But if you do compare it to other WHM, this is why he holds that entire thing, that he isn't the best compared to them, right? So you have Shoto being outstanding, you have Deku being really good, almost outstanding. I would say they're on par in my opinion. But you do have him, he doesn't hold up that same candle, he's good, just, you know, he definitely won't compare to them ever. So that's the same point. After the buff, does that change? Is he a must summon now? What is the answer? Let me give that to you real quick. So again, at this point, with the entire pity system, if you're on a low pity, just go and use your summons on this. I would honestly do it. Use all 14 free. If you want to go and save this currency and then just see what happens on the triple rerun, you can. But I would recommend you use your 14 free summons if you are on a low pity. Having him for collection purposes is outstanding, and he is good in the long run if you go and level him up. He would be outstanding if you had the chance to go and SSS him, or SSS plus him, because you had Shard Shop. Again, with the reason, like, we call him a terrible character, is he's at S very bad, right? He is at S very bad. When you rank him up more to SS and, like, higher, you know, resonance, he gets way better. But because the devs chose to lock him behind S only, you are only going to have him at S if Shard Shop doesn't get added. What happens then? He'll be forever stuck at that place where he can't, you know, get better. He's just S. Sure, he can hit some DPS, but will you ever actually use him in other modes? Or will you ever use him actually in high agency? You really won't, right? And again, you know, later down the line, if you add more characters, he will just become more obsolete as you go along, because he was so low on the spectrum when it comes to WHM. Again, you kind of see what I'm trying to say here. So that's the problem with Bakugo. He is pretty good. This buff does give him a real good change, and it does help out a lot. So I will say that if he was doing, like, you know, 100%, you know, 100, you know, DPS, let's say that, right, for just the comparison's sake, he now will do 135. He will do way better because that 30% additional boost, the fact that you can actually stay in the air a little bit longer, that landing doesn't actually deplete anything, that actually is pretty good. Then again, with Q landing here and there, you can get back into the air faster. The explosion radius will help you in Warzone. Overall, he has gotten better, but not explosive. Better than Todoroki, better than Deku, insane. He just got better. I will say 35% better. Let's just say that. Again, no damage buff, nothing like that. But yeah. And again, just remember, if you are choosing to build him, which I would, again, I'm making it clear for collection purposes. If you have the other two, just go for him. 14 rare summons. See what happens. If you have plans to SS Shoto or, you know, Deku, and you want to wait for the triple banner, I would do that. If you are at a high pity and you're like, you know what, those 14 free summons could screw me over completely, don't do it. Don't summon. Wait. That's the entire idea. But again, if you want his cards, these do help him out a lot, and you will be able to do more DPS with him. Again, the more of the cards, the better. If you would like to go and put some coins into this, or if you just use your free summons and you get lucky enough. Remember, this one's for free, and all of that. So if you had him already originally, the free card, now you'll have an LB2 of that, doing a little bit better damage. Also remember that just the funniest point of all of this, I would actually tell you to go and summon for WHM Bakugo if he was in Shard Shop, because at higher resonance, he does better, along with my earlier point. The funniest thing is that they just won't give him or other WHM characters in Shard Shop the biggest L of the century, because it helps, it really does. And for Bakugo, you can make him better. You really could. At SSS Plus, I've seen a lot of people actually like nuking with him and doing insane. At SSS, he is a lot better, and his resonance does really increase, and you see bigger jumps. So people that are whales will kind of benefit with him a lot. But for you being stuck at S and, you know, kind of gated, it's so stupid, right? So again, the biggest L of the century is leaving him there. I definitely would have said he's pretty good at the higher resonance. Again, so is Deku, so is Todoroki, but you could have made him work in other, you know, scenarios. With this newest buff, again, to finally say it one more time, it is pretty good. Nothing too, like, game-breaking, making him the top character of the meta, but it does make him a little bit better. So it's worth it now, I would say so, if you want to go for collection, or if you want to just have him in your box, or if you just want to say, hey, screw it, it's Bakugo. Who knows when we get a new character anytime soon, what the plan is. I don't really give a crap. I'm just going to go for him. He might never return, so screw it. Let me do it. That's the entire point. But hopefully you were able to enjoy that. Best of luck. Hopefully you guys pull everything you're looking for. I do have some 8 free summons, so I will try to SS him with all the free stuff I get. I won't put any coins into it until I pull 1 copy. Let's say I do pull a copy, I will then upload a video saying SS summons, because I do want to pull him for SS, but I do not want to go in beforehand. I want to pull 1, then go in. So I'll let you know and update you along that if it does work out. If it doesn't, hey, it wasn't meant to be. So GG's. So that's been it. Peace out, enjoy. Catch you guys in the next one. Have fun, stay safe. That's been it for me. Thank you for watching, and hopefully I was able to explain everything properly. And yeah,